Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Rob here in my basement lair, and I thought I would shoot out another video. It's been a while since I've done a coffee with Rob, and we don't have coffee, we have water because I'm trying to cut down a little bit. I started my New Year's resolution early to try to lose some of the weight, so we don't need the coffee for today. What we do have is a little conversation, because I know not a lot of people come to my site and really comment much or anything else, but I thought I always like to leave a possibility that somebody can feel like they're, driving things and have their say. So, if you are getting this because you have subscribed to me and I'm on your feed, which is awesome, really, I urge you to go to the Omnisci Facebook group and like it. So that's the one that I actually throw out odd thoughts and comments here and there, and also post links to most of the things that I do that aren't personal projects, like my State of the Dungeon address. Anything that's the Lair of Omnisci, or Ask the Wizard, or my Game Labs, or any of those things, those get forwarded to the Omnisci site right away. It's the first thing that I do. Also, it would be the place that I would like, more than anything else, to have conversation, chatting, what have you. Because most people are on Facebook, and who have any interest on, getting entertainment and media through the internet. And, it's one nice, convenient hub to find all that stuff out. So I would definitely appreciate it if you are here in the Lair of Omnisci to go to Facebook and like Omnisci, just OMNUSI. That would be great. Because I am putting the next wave of content up into the opinion of anybody who would like to post as to the direction that my next content goes. I'm going to do another Worlds Their Way, because I loved doing the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons example of play that Gygax put in there. I thought it was excellent for showing kind of what old school rule style play was like, including some abstractions that people these days will have a hard time wrapping their heads around. And I thought that example was a really good one for showing that. But I want to keep the series going. Much like Character Witness, I think there's a good use for continuing to go forward and show the various steps on character creation, and in the same process, explore the different things that make certain games special. If you have never played Advanced Dungeons & Dragons before, according to the letter of the law, it would be a completely different experience than what most other games have gone in, because of its roots in wargaming and the different... I've already beaten this to death. If you've seen the Worlds Their Way video, you know everything I'm talking about. If you haven't, check it out. It was a pretty good video. It's actually a series of 3. I did 2 videos because it was a lengthy example of play. And I did one half, did the other half, and then I had a third video where I kind of explained everything from the perspective of somebody who has played that style before, to help kind of bridge the gap for those who hadn't. So I'm looking for the next game. And I don't want to make it just my decision. If any of you have any interest in contributing to this conversation, I'm willing to listen. But I've got a couple of games that I have that come first to mind. Bear also in mind that if I haven't done a Character Witness on these books, that's also a strong candidate for that as well. The first one is Savage Worlds. I have the Savage Worlds Deluxe set. There are several good examples of gameplay in here, so this would be a fine measure both for the character creation as well as making a solid Worlds Their Way, from the words of Mr. Shane Lacey Hensley. And this is a game that I've enjoyed in my read-through, and I am looking forward to running it at some point. I'm not quite there yet because I've got a lot of other irons in the fire, but at some point I would like to run a Savage Worlds game, and I think that could be very useful. Another game that I've recently purchased, I had heard nothing about it, and to be fair, I still haven't done a great deal of research into it, which, okay, I'm a little remiss in doing it. The game is called Torchbearer. My local gaming store had a scratch and dent sale, and I showed up, and this was one of the books they had on their scratch and dent sale. So it is a very pretty book. It has a fun... I like the font, I like the composition with its kind of old school aesthetic, more in the theme of the art illustrating the covers of classic modules and the like. Even the font they use for role-playing game by Thor Olafsrud and Luke Crane is done in the same font that a lot of basic games had used back then. And on the back it says $30 or 3 gold pieces. I like it. I like it a lot. So, this game is based on and derived from the Burning Wheel and Mouse Guard role-playing game, neither of which I have or have played. So, this could be fun. And it might also lead me to that direction as well. I'm certainly not opposed. I've heard a lot of people really like Burning Wheel too. Mouse Guard sounds like a cute game and certainly eye-catching. Between that one and Pugmire are 2 games that I'd like to do. I just don't have the audience right now, but sometime in the future I'm certainly interested. I also have recently gotten Steve Perrin and Ray Turney's RuneQuest hardcover. RuneQuest, of course, old game by Chaosium, ancient game. And this has a very densely packed book full of information and stuff that would be fun to read through and play. The character sheets and things are still very involved. It was always posited that these sheets were pretty lengthy, and character creation is time consuming. But I think that we could have some fun with that, certainly. Both in terms of, again, character creation as well as a Worlds Their Way. I recently picked up the core rulebook for West End Games Torg. Another old game that this one was a you can do anything in it type of game, which West End Games, they took their core system and they made it fit into a lot of different games. And Torg, as far as I understand, and I've never played Torg myself, been around it once or twice, but I've never really played it. A lot of the things to the game look like they use ideas that have been in other West End game products that I have played, especially Star Wars D6. So I am very interested in going through that and doing a solid review on that and gameplay. I think that'll be a lot of fun, both doing a character creation and a Worlds Their Way on that. That isn't the last of what I have, certainly. On top of the all the World of Darkness games, and I kind of want to do one on first edition Ars Magica. That one could be another one of those, oh my god, this game was like that? A lot of people, especially ones who are used to rules light games like Powered by the Apocalypse or Fate, would take one look at Ars Magica and go, oh, it's arcane, it's kind of clunky, but it's got some really cool ideas to it. Especially the idea of building up an entire party and then putting out a pool of characters that everybody can draw from for a particular scenario, I think is really a good idea. So, coming up soon, also from that Scratch and Dent sale, but holding off a little bit because it's a Christmas present, on the horizon we have Delta Green. I have recently gotten Delta Green from that Scratch and Dent sale, so it was a good price. 2 solid hardcovers. It's something I've wanted for a while, ever since a very, very short game that I was a part of, and I've wanted to see, kind of look behind the screen and see the world there, so I'm very excited about that, but that's going to have to wait until the new year. But yeah, on top of getting ready for a new season of just about everything, it's going to be a good time, I think. We've got a lot of material to go through, especially on these little side projects that I'm doing, and Worlds Their Way and Character Witness. Those are all different sides of the coin that I'm looking forward to really delving into. Tomorrow there should be a flurry of videos being put out. I've been putting out State of the Dungeon addresses. If anybody's following along with that, I just ended my campaign, so that denouement went up today. And we'll be doing more in-character witnesses for the 5th edition D&D game I'm in, and we'll be doing one now for the Warhammer 40k one that I'm in. If any of you want me to do a video about the fluff of Warhammer 40k, let me know, because I'd be more than happy to do it. I just don't know, if you're all savvy with it and you don't need it, well, that's something I can shelve for the future. But if you want me to do that as a primer, if you don't know the Warhammer 40k universe and you want that, let me know, because I can certainly bang one of those out in a hurry, and I've got the costuming for it. Should be fun. Yeah, so... Oh, one other possible Worlds Their Way one. Well, more of a character witness, I think. I just got the Warhammer starter set, so that is something I'm also interested in. The core fantasy Warhammer game was, it's left long shadows, and certainly sounds like a good game. It's got a loyal following, so I'm looking forward to getting into that. And yeah, so I got a lot on my plate. But I'm almost got the scripting and everything done for the next class warfare. We're going to be covering fighters, starting from fighting men and working up to modern 5th edition fighters, which I think could be fun. I hope so. That one's going to be a lengthier one, because fighters have been around for a while, even if they haven't always been all that exciting. And again, we're just going to be covering the core rule books. If I had the complete fighter's handbook from 2nd edition, I could go on and on and on about all the kits that were available back then and such, but quite honestly, going through 0th edition, 1st edition, basic D&D, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 4th edition, 5th edition, there's more than enough to cover everything. So and I hope you enjoy it. I seriously do. On any of this, any of your comments that you'd like to leave about anything I said, if it excites you, something that you want me to go in, if you yourself have something, a direction that you want me to go in as far as criticism, as far as character witness, Words Their Way, ask the wizard, please send me a question. You can leave it in the comments, or send it directly to my email. Should be a link to it up in the corner. Yeah, I want to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll just keep putting out more material and hope that the right people see it and like it. So, here's your chance. I am the Game Master for all of you, so let me know what you think. Thank you, and I'll see you the next time I crawl in front of the internet and make one of these videos. Farewell.